The change comes as some school leaders are forced to speed up their return to in-person timelines with barely any notice. The Cartwright District meeting right now to talk about how they will approach the new metrics and the new orders from the governor. They weren't planning to reopen until June, but now Governor Ducey wants schools to return to in-person learning by March 15th or after spring break.
Tonight, ABC 15's Mark Phillips explains the changes now underway.
Hi, good morning.
The morning greeting. Back in the days when life was not so complicated for students at Holiday Park. One of 21 Cartwright Elementary District schools forced into remote learning because of COVID.
Well, it was definitely a surprise. And it was a bit last minute, right? Because we have spring break next week. So we have a lot of work to do until then.
Cartwright's plan was to return to in-class learning in June for summer school. But the timetable changed dramatically. Governor Ducey's executive order requires every school, with a few exceptions, to resume in-class learning on March 15th. Parents still have the option to continue remote learning for their children.
We are going to get it done, and we basically got this. We got this because of all of the planning that we have had to do up until this moment.
Cartwright schools initiated COVID mitigation protocols in March of 2020. That's when schools began receiving weekly deep cleanings. Classrooms are set up to socially distance students. Plexiglass separates administrators from visitors. When children arrive on the 15th, they'll have their temperature taken and have access to hand sanitizer. All of it documented on the district's YouTube channel for parents and students to see.
As it is, districts have planned slightly different timelines than that on occasion, and now they're going to have to rework all that communication, and all that is unnecessary. It could have been avoided.
The Arizona School Boards Association isn't opposed to the date the governor set to reopen schools, only that he chose to spring it on everyone. A political grandstand at the expense of public educators.
We have this idea in our heads that the schools don't want to open and parents want them to open and the governor has to make the schools open. And that's just not the case.
Within hours of the announcement schools will reopen, Cartwright parents began receiving information on transportation and meal programs. More will come.
I think from the comments that we have heard from our parents, the majority of them are definitely on board with this.
Mark Phillips, ABC 15, Arizona.
And as schools continue updating or changing plans during this pandemic, you can check your district's plans anytime by going to abc15.com/schools.